a feeder event for the women's lightweight double sculls. And there we see the women, Emma Fred of Sweden, Christine Cavello, the American, Elena Furman from Belarus, Joanna Doriachak from Poland, Clara Guerra from Italy, and Anastasia Lebdeva, familiar names we've seen on the World Cup circuit. Emma Fred from Sweden, 5th in the world last year, a race that was won by the South African Kirsten McCann. There we see the second USA sculler, Christine Cavello from Windermere, Florida. But, she went to Stanford University and is really pretty much identified with California Rowing Club now. Elena Furman, she won this event in Belgrade 3 weeks ago, beat Ellen Gledow, the Canadian, and Ladina Meyer from Germany. So we know she's got form. Doriachek, the Pole, was in the lightweight women's double scull in Belgrade, and she came 4th in that event, which of course the Olympic event in Sarasota, so she's really got some form. Love to see this woman race. I saw her win the junior single sculls in Rotterdam in 2016. And Clara Guerra is just 19 years of age, and well, I'm sure she'll be in a lightweight women's double scull of some description for the Tokyo Games. Be amazed if she doesn't make that. And Lebdeva, the Russian sculler, was in a lightweight women's double scull, came 12th in the world
Sweden, United States,
in Sarasota, but she's been in this event for a while, 25 years of age.
Italy, Russia, attention.
So the Pole and the Belarusian, the two semi-final winners, and Joanna Doriachek really the strong favourite to dominate this race.
There's real calmness before the start there on the quiet water here on this beautiful lake, and the scullers getting away really nice and cleanly, smoothly. Women's lightweight singles, we expect to see them being really efficient. And as they come down the course, they'll pick up a little bit more of a tailwind as we see the Doriachek, Polish sculler, as we say, experienced campaigner from the women's lightweight double, making a great start there and so pushing out towards certainly 3/4 of boat length very early on in the race. She's just so long and smooth, and she's still moving on the rest of the field. And you can see the faster boat speed there. And that's all just about efficiency and getting the boat going.
Yeah, of course, Doriachek with her partner Veronika Derez took that 4th slot as we're looking at the Russian sculler in this event, Anastasia Lebdeva, 25 years of age, the Russian.
But what a statement. Here, look at this. 1 minute into the race, clear water. Who knows whether she'll be able to keep this up, but it's certainly a gap that's a bit of a buffer already.
Yeah, we don't know what's wrong. We suspect it's an injury with Veronika Derez, her partner from the lightweight women's double scull, but she's certainly relishing the chance to be in the single here. And why wouldn't you with that sort of pace, early pace in the 500 metres? We didn't quite see that well. In her semi-final, she was 1:48.99, so the next quickest sculler to her was 1:51, the German Katharina Thom, and she couldn't keep that pace up, Thom, and didn't make the A final.
No, I mean, I thought the Belarusian sculler Furman, who was in the other centre lane here, would have been looking to try and go with that pace. She did win in Belgrade only 3 weeks ago. We've got a small American contingent here. So it's good to see the sculler over there. In lane 2 has probably become the fastest boat on the course right now.
Yeah, she's there with Emily Schmieg as we take a look at Doriachek. We'll pull out to see the American Christine Cavello, and racing in the lightweight double sculls in Bled with Emily Schmieg, came 6th in that event.
We see the stroke rates there fairly similar. Emma Fred, experienced up in lane 1. Luckily for her now, there's very few people warming up, so she's not in a bad position there over on that side of the course.
A nice aggressive scull, isn't it, from the American? She's really taken the race on, and you'd think the more experienced Emily Schmid might have been the one in the final, 30 years of age, and took that bronze medal in the lightweight women's double sculls last year. But this woman, the Floridian, if that's what you call someone from Florida, I'm sure that probably is. But she's really shown that this time in Europe has served her well. Raced at the Belgrade World Cup and finished 10th. And she's come over here, and with Emily Schmid, it's in a different crew, so will be very competitive for that lightweight women's double scull in the American team. You can see as we go through the 1,000 metres, Doracek is looking back on a great contest, Greg.
Doracek is looking back on that contest. You see she was fast in the first 500, but as these times click through, there's really nothing in it in terms of how fast each of the other boats are going now. So we'll take a look at Emma Fred here in that lane 1, taking a look to her left and seeing she's still right in the race, sculling so efficiently as all these women do. Just everything is just lined up and symmetrical and balanced, and nothing to slow the boat down. That stern sitting nicely out of the water every stroke.
Yeah, it was Emma Fred who put out Emily Schmid in the semi-final earlier on today, just by a small matter of a few tenths of a second. So Clara Guerra, the young Italian sculler we're seeing there on the left of our picture, she is getting better and better every time she races at this level. It's a tough ask to come and compete. The Italians don't have a lot of money, and they do want to develop their young talent. There's the Belarusian sculler, Greg.
Yeah, Elena Furman, she's made a nice move now in this third 500. I think when we see the times come through for what they've done this 500, and I think she's probably going to be the quickest on the course. As we know, she was successful 3 weeks ago, but the power and speed of the Polish athlete in the first 500 has given her a bit of a cushion.
I think it
come
shows
towards 600 to go.
I think it shows just, you know, the level you've got to step up to get into a successful lightweight women's double scull, which of course the Olympic class event. I mean, there it is out in front, and these scullers, like, I mean, Furman is beautiful technically wise. I mean, she's so connected around the front end, just blades go in, just lock straight away, and you think, wow, I wish I could scull like that. But you know, there's another level of step up to go. She's got to create that to be competitive in the Olympic class event.
There is a level of aggression and power that we saw from the Polish sculler off the start, and now this is the fastest woman on the course, Elena Furman. She put in at 1:53 third 500, which was good pace, but have to see now if the Polish sculler is going to pay for the early pace, carrying a bit of extra pain in her body for a little bit longer. And there's still time for something to happen, but I think the scullers all still look very efficient, and not like anything's going to go badly wrong. But the Belarusian sculler will now just be getting a little idea and a sense that those puddles are close, and she's now just about getting an overlap.
So there's the 1, 2, 3, nice little chevron. Emma Fred, she's over on the far side. But, well, I think that's a look at Clara Guerra, the Italian sculler, maybe. And
no, I think that was Doracek she's taking a look at. She's trying to have a look at her face and say, how much is she hurting?
Well, there's Clara Guerra.
Am I going to be able to close this gap? Because she's now got an overlap in the last 250.
That's a nice one.
As you say, Clara Guerra sprinting at the bottom of the screen, and the whole field now catching up with the Polish sculler. Did an awful lot in the first 500, and now she needs to hang on in these red buoys.
She's kept her rhythm the same. I mean, I'm not sure if she's got too much to go, Doracek, in terms of rate or anything, but it's a very consistent rhythm. Just a little bit of extra power there, keep her ahead of Furman, the Belarusian. Clara Guerra's really charging. It's a great race for that bronze medal between her and the American Christine Cavello, the 19-year-old against the 23-year-old. And, well, I think the 19-year-old will win out. She was really aggressive in the last few strokes, and she's just got her bows in front as The Polish Skaro Doricek comes to the line, takes the gold medal. Furman takes the silver medal. Guerrera does enough to just edge out Cavello for the bronze medal. The Italian delighted with that result. All closed up, didn't it?
Did all close up at the end, and I've got to say, how good are the Italians at using rate to actually get their boats moving faster? It's the sort of thing that maybe we saw at the World Championships last year, seeing it early this year, as we saw Doricek there controlling that race after a great first 500. A great race here from Cavello, who got into it, but in the final sprint, the Italian just came through to get the third place from her. A good race from the Belarusian Skala Furman, backing up her gold medal 3 weeks ago with a silver there. But it was Doricek who was in control pretty much from stroke one.
It's always nice to win your race in a single scull, isn't it? Just that extra special feeling. I mean,
it's a good feeling, but you don't have anyone to celebrate with.
there speaks a man of experience. Confirmation, Doricek, 7:35. Just over a length behind Furman from Belarus and the Italian.